See, fluoride helps keep people stupid.
Yeah. Well, the guy who invented it said it's just poison. There's no use for it.
That's right.
But America adopted it big, where everybody else won't touch it.
That's right.
Well, that usually if somebody gets the ball rolling, other people will catch on.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I really do. They're going to try to put a state mandate through here, and we're going to try to stop that too. But we still have here in my town. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing from Massachusetts a lot lately.
Yeah. Must be the collective consciousness around here. I've been trying to raise it myself.
Yeah. Well, it's really good while we're going out that way. There's a lot of people being hassled. You know,
yeah.
And so every week it's kind of like a different state. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot from Massachusetts lately.
Well, I appreciate all that you're doing as far as getting the information out there. I've been being very public in my public service. I'm going to go into covert public service sometime soon, and we're going to do what we can do to tear down some more strongholds.
Awesome. Now, are you selling these magnet rings yet?
No. I just share the knowledge with the people. There's a guy selling them on net, and that's fine. I just don't have time for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a businesswoman, and when I got into this organ, it was like over my ears and all this stuff because, I do things as I have time.
And you want to share it with the world, but not personally.
Yeah, and for the folks that don't know what she does, she makes these awesome magnet rings, and they're like Velcro, and you wrap them around each finger, and it just helps balance your whole body out. And they're just excellent.
They've helped turn back the clock for me, too, so it's all good.
But, yeah.
Well, thanks, Sherry. I just wanted to check in, say hi, let you know that we've got, a little action going on here, doing whatever I can, the little bit that I can, but everything's
praise the Lord. All it takes is one person just to stand up, and other people will follow.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, well, you keep up the good work.
Thanks, hon. You too.
All right, thanks for calling in. Listener caller line, folks, 260-356-2611. And I don't know anybody else's show that's like mine, but everybody that calls is Deborah or John. I love it. It's funny. I don't have to remember anybody's names because everybody's Deborah's or John's, and that's okay. If some of you actually ask. I know a lot of you off the air. Talk to you behind the scenes all the time. But for some of you that want to call in and you're just afraid to, just use the name Deborah or John. It's easy for me to remember. You don't have to be afraid to call in. The Lord has your back. If you're one of the Lord's, you have His protection. And I've been going strong now for how many years? And, I'm not afraid of man. That's obvious. I had a little bit of fun last week with the death threat I had, and, for me that's amusing. I just have some fun. It doesn't stop me any. And, I've been getting those for years, and as they're amusing, I just post them on the Internet, and just have fun. And we don't have anything to fear. We don't have to fear man. We certainly don't fear Satan. He's just a scumbag in space waiting for his cue. Those little freak morons. Which reminds me, Eric John Phelps will be on the show next week or the week after. And what I'll do is I'll post it on my blogger and on my radio site when he's going to come on. But I've been talking to him. And I posted a lot of his information on my sites this week.
Sherry?
Yeah.
You have another caller when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead and put him on.
Caller, you're up.
Okay, hi, Sherry.
Hi.
I'm a kind of a short-time listener, first-time caller.
Okay, what state are you from?
I'm sorry?
What state are you from?
Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Yeah, I have a background in investigation, and I have a theory that I wanted to broach about these ID cards.
Okay.
Having worked with different government agencies before, I would suspect that the way this is going to go is they'll gradually introduce the cards and get everybody used to them. And after a certain, of course, nobody knows what timetable this might take, but after a certain time, you'll hear that so many of them are being lost every month that they're going to go ahead and miniaturize it even further.
Yep.
And, there's so much expense involved in replacement, yada, yada.
Yep.
That's when they're going to offer it to be put into your body.
Yeah, because if you have that much information on one thing, people can't even hang on to their licenses. I mean, I've done 2, 3, or 4 just from wallets getting stolen, purses getting stolen, people stealing your license, stuff that has your license in it.
Right.
Can you imagine getting a national ID card stolen that has all your info on it? And I don't think they're going to last very long at all, and they'll probably just move right into the chip. Exactly,
because while there will only be certain places that can decipher that information, those will get stolen too.
And every time they come up with something, somebody else out there comes away of redoing whatever they do.
Well, yeah,
checking tech is common.
Yeah, the most newly designed bills that are supposed to be non-duplicable, they're counterfeiting them right now.
Yeah, the week after they started coming out. But the whole thing about that was Gary Koss back in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
Had written a book on global occupation. I remember reading that as a kid. I was like in high school. It might have been college. I don't remember. It was years ago. And sure enough, he had forewarned about this coming money that was going to be coming. It was supposed to be, and they had already contracted it out in the 80s, and of course it didn't come out to the late 90s or 2000s. That's how long they sat on it.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about the money, and that was the whole lie about the counterfeit thing, because the real purpose behind it was to get people used to that big picture of the world leader in the center of the bill.
Right.
Because when the Antichrist comes, his picture would replace that on everybody's bills in every country.
Yeah, there won't be any more dead presidents. It'll be him.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of the counterfeit. I mean, the new currency. That was the whole point of it. To get people to look at getting used to seeing a bigger picture of the world leader in the center, because then all that would be replaced by the Antichrist picture.
But did you notice all the smoke they blew at us about making it harder to copy?
Well, you know what? As soon as it came out, the television news here in Cleveland was talking about how somebody had already counterfeited it.
Right.
As soon as it started coming out. So yeah, that was the smoke screen. That was the whole reason to get it pushed. Because if you remember, before it even came out, they started talking about how the old currency was getting counterfeited. It was like a push of conditioning. We need new currency. And then when the new currency did come out, then boom, somebody counterfeited it as soon as it came out. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the new driver's license DNA stuff that's part of the intelligence reform bill, but supposedly nobody can review that until May? Have you heard any more about whether or not the American public can review it yet?
I haven't heard anything about it. As far as I know, they're looking at 2 different possibilities, and it probably has nothing to do with what you're talking about. But the whole license and national ID cards can become the same thing.
Well, right, and all you'll need is that to make purchases just by showing it. And
so it's going to be like a debit card and license and everything all in one.
Right, and it's the merchants that'll be able to review, your bank balances, etc. But, supposedly nobody in the public's going to be allowed to read this thing until May, which we're getting close. But it would certainly be nice to sit down and try to go through those 3,000 pages of law that this reform bill includes.
Well, you know what? Follow Ron Paul's site, because if anybody has it first, he will.
And whose site was that?
Senator Ron Paul out of Texas.
Okay.
He'll have it.